The music and the musical numbers are really fun in the movie. First of all, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, We Need a Little Christmas and Just the Two of Us. Like, when I read it on the page, I loved it. And then when we started rehearsing it, I loved it.
We can make it if we try.
I love the Just the Two of Us, We Need a Little Christmas.
So good.
Yeah, it was fun to be passing the baton back and forth from what we call zoality and what we now call maxality.
The choreography there too, I mean, especially that first part where they're all doing like the clapping dance, they are so in sync. There is not a frame off with any dancer in that moment.
I also realized this very bizarre trait of mine, which obviously Austin and Samantha McIntyre, who's also a writer, recognized. Zany dancing to Christmas music is my truth. Like, I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus and We Need a Little Christmas, and I'm like, wow, somebody I didn't know was in there really comes out in these numbers. It's funny because it was a really hard thing to shoot. We were on location, we had limited time, and there was like a lot of things going wrong, and we were all like really stressed out. And I don't think you see that on camera, which is the magic of filmmaking. Also, I will tell you, I only had 4 days to prep this movie. I was in Vancouver for 4 days before we started shooting. So that includes recording all the songs, learning all the dances, fittings, wig tests. So I learned all of that like in record time, and pretty proud of pulling it off. I really loved the duet Time After Time because it was the first Heart song, I believe, where two people were having it and were in unison, and it was like loving.
We've never gotten to do that before in that way. I mean, the closest we got to a duet with them was a moment like this, where they were kind of going back and forth, but she was singing in the real world while he was singing in her brain. I like going back to Cyndi Lauper, where True Colors was our big song in the pilot. So being able to have another Cyndi Lauper song and kind of a lot of things that song talks about. If I broke it down to specific lyrics to you, I could explain to you why those lyrics actually pertain to different things in their relationship. So it just felt like a nice way to bring it all together.
It was a blast. Jane and I actually met in that park on a day off, just the two of us. It's a memory that I will cherish. And just like two theater kids trying to make sure that they know their dance moves, and we drilled our choreography, and we did it in front of a bunch of people who probably had no idea what these two people were doing on a Saturday in the park. I'm like lifting her over my head, and everyone's like, well, those people are very romantic. Those are like the things that I will take with me the most from this experience, are not just the things that we got to do on camera, but all the prep and all the anxiety and all the rewards of doing this monster of a show.
The whole family singing Wish You Were Here, that felt like a really powerful one, and that was a number we spent a lot of time on trying to get tonally right.
How I wish you were here.
That was one of my favorite days on set, even though it was emotional. I had a front row seat. It was powerful. I mean, every single member of that family singing that song was really special, but most specifically, there's like a moment where Mary lifts her head up at the head of the table, and I just felt this like powerful matriarch vibe coming from her and her soulful singing voice. It really hit me every time. I didn't have to act too hard in response to that song. It kind of did the job for me.